Okay, if you have the C-pillar rattle on your S550 Mustang, here's the fix. What you want to do is remove your C-pillar cover. It's held on by 3 metal clips. 1, 2, 3. This to the rear of it. So if you look at it like that, that would be the front of the car. It comes to a point at the rear. 3 clips, and then at the bottom of it, I'm showing you the top because it's flipped. You'll actually want to pull these tabs out of there. I think there's 2 or 3 tabs here. Pull the bottom tabs out first, then pop it straight out. Keep your metal retaining clips if they come off. Mine did not, but pretty easy to get it out. So once you get that out, you'll expose the airbag gas canister. You'll also have to wiggle this. It's sort of a retaining piece of plastic that keeps the C-pillar cover from flying across the car when the airbags deploy. So that is kind of mounted into a little clip holder within the C-pillar. It'll be pretty easy to figure out, but you'll have to kind of twist that out to free up the C-pillar cover and get it out of your way. And what you'll notice is if you follow this plastic retaining wire here, there's a clip, a retaining clip hole for the C-pillar cover. This is a piece of plastic that floats on another piece of plastic, and when you tap on it, you'll hear a good rattle there. So what I did is get some of this basic electrical tape, tear about an inch and a half piece off, and then fold it over on itself, so sticky side to sticky side. You don't want the sticky side out because you'll have trouble sliding it into where it needs to go. And then what you'll do is you'll slide a little piece of electrical tape under this retaining clip. That will sort of create a little bushing or a damper for the sound. I also did it back here. So 2 pieces of electrical tape, just kind of stuff them in there with a flat screwdriver, a really small screwdriver. Now when you tap this, it's really solid. While I was in here, I also noticed there's a bit of a gap between the airbag cylinder and a metal retaining piece behind it. So I went and stuck about 4 or 5 more pieces of electrical tape there. I don't think that was the source of the rattle, but just to kind of solidify that, it looked like that gap there could cause trouble as well. So put that all back together. I'll take it for a test run, but that should fix your problem. Okay, I'm back. I went for a drive for a couple hours, and the rattle was gone for the first few minutes, and then it slowly came back, and then it was back just as bad as it was before I did the tape here. So you can go ahead and do this electrical tape under this gizmo, but I don't really think that's the issue. So when I went back for my second attempt, I tapped on this canister, the airbag canister, and I could hear the rattle. So I think there's either a little gap right here where the metal brackets are, or maybe between the canister and the metal plate behind it. So here was the solution that I did. Get yourself some 1-inch sticky felt tabs. You're gonna peel the sticky part off and then put them sticky side to sticky side so that you have just felt on either side. Stick them together, and then there's a metal piece above the canister and a plastic piece behind that, and you're going to stick one of these doubled up Oreo felt pieces towards the back, and you can use something flexible like a credit card to sort of push it back. You don't have to push it all the way down, just until you can barely see it anymore. And then you're going to put another one towards, let me move my hand, the front side. So what you're doing is you're kind of creating a buffer zone between the metal bracket behind the canister, the airbag canister, and then this plastic thing. And that should be 2 of these 1-inch felt pads together. Should be just enough room to take up that gap. And then I also, just to make sure I didn't have to get back here again, was I put some electrical tape on these metal brackets. I think there might be just a little bit of play here. There's another one back here. I put a little bit of electrical tape there, kind of pinch it in. And then I put another 2 of these 1-inch felt pads on the outside of the airbag canister in hopes that maybe the plastic C-pillar cover here would press down on those. But I think there's still actually a gap here, so I don't think these are necessary. If you get the felt tabs back here, one up front, one behind, push them down a little bit, not too far, maybe about halfway down the cylinder. Whoops. So one back here and one here. Push the felt tabs about halfway down, so it's kind of in the middle of the cylinder back there. Push them down with something flexible like a credit card, and that worked fine. And the last thing I also did was I put a little bit of electrical tape on the C-pillar cover mounting tab there, a little bit here. Just getting a little crazy, making sure that the vinyl on the electrical tape sort of deadens the sound. I also wrapped this piece with some electrical tape. You don't have to do that, but I thought maybe it might help. And then there's a harness back here that seemed a little jiggly. Thought that could be the source. I put some electrical tape there. Anything that feels loose or jiggly, maybe just wrap it once with tape. That might help, but this is your issue. It's this canister. Now you can hear when I'm tapping on it. You get a nice solid thud instead of a rattle. But when you take yours off and you tap on it, you should hear the rattle, the same rattle that you're hearing in the car. And the felt tab should cure it. Curious to know if this works for you. Leave a comment and like and subscribe if it helps.